second gear. Give it the beans. Woo. Hello guys, good day. It's a wonderful day today. Lovely weather. Hopefully it stays this way for the whole day. Today we are going to Welly Sungai Buloh, which is a showroom very nearby Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, where we'll be checking out a few Aprilias, namely the very long-awaited RS660. Here it is guys, the long-awaited Aprilia RS660 in the flesh. Oh man, I've been waiting to see this bike in the flesh for a very long time. Here it is. These winglets, man, they're sexy. And it comes with an Akrapovic exhaust. Awesome bike. This one's in matte blue and red color. And comes with LEDs. Very nice. Look at that. Wow, that is a very good looking bike. I'll probably definitely get rid of the back seat and the rear footrest because I have nobody to ride at the back with me. But yeah, it comes with a quick shifter, adjustable suspensions, and Brembo brakes. I really can't wait to hop a leg on this bike and have a ride and see what it's like. Seems very promising. Hope it is, because could be my bike in the future. Okay guys, this is the long-awaited Aprilia RS660. Wow, look at that, greeted by the screen. Wow, that's a really bright color screen. Whoa. Let's start her up. Uses a traditional key and it has an Akrapovic slip-on exhaust. Wow, that sounds incredible guys. Alright, let's hop a leg over it, see what it's like. So here we are at Welly Sungai Buloh. We're testing this bike following the Marshall on the Ducati Street Fighter, and in front of me is a guy who is on an Aprilia Tuono. Okay guys, here we go. I feel like this bike has a little bit of buzz and vibration. Wow, I love the sound of this thing. It sounds aggressive, it looks aggressive, sounds aggressive. It feels like it's a bike that is designed for some serious speeds. If you're like me, you've been following it since its launch in EICMA sometime in the past. You know that it's powered by a 659cc inline twin liquid cooled engine, mated to a 6-speed gearbox. This one comes with a quick shifter and it produces around 100 horsepower. This engine comes from an RSV4, which is sliced into half, and therefore it is a race-bred engine, I believe. Woo! I love that sound guys. Sounds good. There's a little bit of buzz in the side mirrors. I don't know whether you can see, but there is a little bit of buzz in the side mirror. What's this guy doing? Get out of my way. There's not much engine braking here. Maybe we can change the power settings. We're right now on commute mode. It is a very lightweight machine, weighing at around 400 pounds, and therefore it does feel very light. So yeah, this is Aprilia's take on a middleweight sports bike that is very highly anticipated, because in typical fashion, middleweight sports bike are around 600cc, such as the Suzuki GSX-R 600, Kawasaki ZX-6R 636, and probably the CBR 600R from Honda. So in typical fashion, 600cc sports bikes are inline 4 in terms of its engine configuration. But with those engines, what you get is a lack of usable torque. I have owned a Gixxer 600 previously, and I feel like for commuting in town, it lacks usable torque. So for overtaking, you keep having to downshift and find its sweet spot. Although on track days, on high speeds, and when you're really pushing it, it really goes. That engine really screams, and it revs up to 16,000 RPMs, which is a really wonderful thing. Just because the way I ride, I value usable torque a lot more than high-end horsepowers. So in terms of, there's a lot of rocks coming off this guy's bike, so I'm gonna back off a bit. So in terms of usable torque, this bike feels like it has plenty. I'm on 3rd gear right now. You can imagine that you're commuting to work on this thing, and it's quite comfortable. The seat is actually very plush. The handlebar position is not too aggressive, and it's not too deep. You don't have to dive in too deep in order to grab the handlebars. However, you are in a sporty position. If memory serves me right, it feels sporty, but it's not as aggressive in terms of its body position in comparison to my Suzuki GSX-R 600, where the handlebar clip-ons are situated lower on the front suspension. My foot pegs are behind my knees, and they're definitely in a sporty position, but it is not too aggressive. It feels like it is situated further back compared to my CB650R, but it's not too far back that it is a concern. Somehow I feel like this bike is quite comfortable, even though given its sporty riding position. It's aggressive but not too aggressive, therefore it's probably suited for riders who take it out on weekends and who would like to take their bike to work once in a while. It's livable for you to take it out on daily commutes as well. How about the suspension? The suspension feels, you can feel everything on the road is very nice, and you can feel what the bike is doing and what the front end is doing, but it's not too harsh. It doesn't glide over bumps, I shall put it that way, but it is not hard and it's not too aggressive. Oh, that is a good sounding bike. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of heat coming off the engine here. Well, it's an Italian bike. The heat is building up right now, probably as bad as a Ducati Monster, but it is an Italian machine. It's expected. 1st gear. Woo! Alright. The front suspension is adjustable, if I'm not mistaken, and the back is adjustable in terms of damping and preload. Ooh, even on 2nd gear at low speeds it picks up, but it's not intimidating, or it's not too aggressive, I shall say. Alright. Brakes up front are powered by dual disc 4-pot Brembos. They're not the Stylema or M50s, but they're decent enough for this amount of power. 2nd gear, guys. I'm gonna, well, it's not too aggressive, but it's enough to give you that excitement and that buzz of a sports bike. 1st gear. Let's check this out. Woo! Traction control kicked in. There's probably some sand on the floor. That was not cool. But the bike saved me. There was some power cut off there. Awesome little Aprilia. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, man, there's a lorry in front of me. I really don't want to overtake a lorry on this bike in case there's any debris or oil on the road. Gonna get me into trouble. 2nd gear. Ooh, the brakes are strong. They're nice. It has some pull, but it's not too aggressive. Okay guys, I don't know what happened to that guy back there on the Tuono, but he just suddenly pulled over to the side. What's wrong with this bike? Oh, that's no fun. One of the test bikes, Aprilia Tuono, has an issue. We're not able to start her up. So we're stuck here at the side of the highway, and our marshal here is trying to check out what is wrong with it. Aku nampak tadi asal kau tak kejar dia, kau lagi power daripada aku. Tapi aku tengok hang okey, so aku nak kejar dia, aku nak flag dia lah. Dia dah nampak dah, okey, dia pull aside. Asal hang okey. Ni ada bonceng ada dua si. Here we are back on the Aprilia RS660. Alright, now we're on dynamic mode. You can see there, individual, commute, dynamic. So there's 3 modes and we're on dynamic now. Should be a little bit more potent in comparison. First gear in, let's go. Alright, loving that sound there. This bike comes equipped with a pair of Pirelli Rosso Corsa 2s. These are very sticky tires and that are good for track and also a little bit of spirited rides as well. Oh, there's a corner here that looks delicious. So I'm 1/3 and we should be able to feel what this bike is capable of, and it tilts in very well. Oh, very confidence inspiring in terms of its handling. However, there's a car in front here. I can't really be going too fast. Oh, it's a nice long straight. Give it the beans. Woo! Wow, that's torque there, but you feel like the torque, you get an immediate torque, but at quite a low RPM, but it tapers off as the rev increases into the slip road for motorcycles. Woo! That is the sound that comes from the crossplane inline twin 659cc liquid cooled engine producing around 100 horsepower, and not too sure about the torque figures, but I believe it's produced at quite a low rev. I have limited experience with quick shifters, but from what I feel, the quick shifter is very responsive on this bike. Ooh, that burble is awesome. Okay, now we're gonna perform a U-turn on this bike and feel what it's like in case you daily commuters want to use this bike on daily commutes. That is a beautiful bike, that Ducati Street Fighter V4S. Wow. But for me, there's not much use for that much horsepower. Whoa, the turning circle seems to be a little bit wide. There's plenty of torque, definitely. So what I feel, the ergonomics is a little bit sporty. It's not too bad that it's uncomfortable for long rides. So far I'm not feeling tired, but I'm feeling actually quite comfortable on this bike, even with its slightly sporty position. Ooh, the brakes are good. The bike tilts in very easily, and you can feel that you still have quite a lot of control in the corners. This is definitely a bike that is suited for those hill carving rides that I do on weekends. So if you want to commute on highways, say you're doing 100 kmh, you don't get wind on your chest, but you do get wind on your face if you are quite upright. But if you lower your head down, you can kind of avoid half of the wind from the bottom of your face, if that makes any sense. So there's plenty of torque even though on 6th gear for you to have some pick up and go even in cruising mode. So let's say around, it cruises, let's say around 110 kmh, around 4,500 RPM. That's a very comfortable rev range for cruising, if I can recall, especially in comparison to my CB650R, which is very short geared. I feel like there's not much engine braking, and therefore there's not much rubber band effect when I release the throttle, which is very relaxing if you're cruising on the bike especially. Okay, another slip road for bikes. Let's try to avoid any falling rocks off the lorry. Ooh, at low speeds there's a little bit of a, you know, shake. There's a little bit of character, but it's not that bad. I have a Ducati Monster at home, which is a lot worse than this. It's to show that this is an Italian bike, and it has character. Ooh, tilts in nicely. So nice. Oh, it just absorbs that bump quite well. It's not too sharp. If you happen to hit hard edge bumps, it'll definitely jolt you a little bit. Woo, there is some pick up and go, definitely. Man, I actually love this bike. Oh, there's definitely so much brake. There's so much feel in the brakes, in the lever, and as well as the brake bite is very linear. Loving the brakes. Front brakes are powered by dual disc 4-pot Brembo calipers. They definitely do the job very well there. Good job, Brembo. You can never fail with a pair of Brembos. I don't want to go through this. Not worth it. Well, there's a little bit of a heat building up on my thighs, and I can imagine on daily commutes it can be something that is of a concern, as it's a bit uncomfortable, especially if you live in a hot country such as Malaysia. The switch between rider mode is quite intuitive. Individual, commute, let's switch it back to commute. You can feel definitely the throttle is a little bit softer, but it's still there if you really wanna push the bike. For those of you who want a bike that is sporty, that is quite easy to ride, gives you that Italian flair, this is the bike for you. If the inline twin engine configuration is something that bothers you, you really have to reconsider and have a look at this bike, because it is not an inline twin cylinder in this normal fashion. It has a different firing order, and therefore has a different vibe and character to it in comparison to a traditional inline twin. Okay guys, I hope you like my little review of the long awaited Aprilia RS660. It's an amazing bike. If you have any comments, please write them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon button so you don't miss out on any future materials. Most importantly, ride safe, stay safe, and have a good day. Bye bye. Woo! Love this bike. Would I buy it? Yes, I would buy it. Definitely.